myself again. My name is Jacinta Onyiwenyi. I'm the customer support representative here at Camanda Tech Academy. It's my pleasure to be your host for this session. So this is the second edition of our Introduction to Data Analytics webinar. And this webinar is to empower everyone here present with the knowledge of data analytics and also how this can improve your skills in our rapidly evolving tech landscape. This session is open to businesses, corporations, individuals that are all interested in various information technology. It's also open to you, basically to help you find ways to solve challenges. Someone please kindly mute your mic when you join, just so everyone will be able to hear me clearly. Thank you. All right. So like I was saying, this program is to help us find ways to curtail and solve most of our daily life challenges. It could be that you have difficulty with getting started on your career or deciding what career suits you. It could be that you're struggling with difficulty on doing your tasks at every interval. It could be that you do not understand business data and you just want to get a grasp or an understanding of what it is. It could be that maybe poor security of personal or business information. It could be that you're wondering how to start your tech journey and you have no finance, you have no knowledge whatsoever. That's exactly what this session is aimed to help you achieve. And before we dive into the topic, I would like to take a moment to introduce our esteemed speaker. His name is Mr. Emmanuel Opara. He is an expert in data analytics with over 10 years experience in the industry. He's the founder of Camanda Technologies and is currently serving as the co-founder and CEO of Camanda Tech Academy, where he works with an amazing team to offer hands-on training, in-demand tech skills. We are equipping graduates and professionals with the skills that they need to thrive in today's digital world. Throughout Mr. Emmanuel's career, he has helped hundreds of professionals gain skills that made them do their jobs better. And with this, he is uniquely qualified to provide valuable insight into our talk for today. So we are incredibly fortunate to have Mr. Emmanuel Opara with us today to share his expertise. Please join me in welcoming. I mean, you can clap from where you are. You can decide to use the reaction emojis we have on the meeting. Join me in welcoming Mr. Emmanuel to our webinar. Mr. Emmanuel, over to you.
If not so they introduce me this life, like things will happen. No.
We are very privileged to have you join us, sir. Please,
All
the
right.
stage is all yours.
Thank you very much. I think I've gotten a new hype person. I think I really need to. You say you are doing customer support, right? Now you can't be doing customer support again, no, at this rate. I think we should start introducing you as a hype person, Jason. Sir. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, I can
Thank you
add that
very
to my
much. Please
CV.
confirm you can hear
You're
me.
welcome.
All right, great, great. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Jacinta, for that introduction. While she was while she was making that introduction, I'm like, okay, there we go. How do I match that particular what's the word now? How do I match that? But I would just take somebody's laughing. Please don't laugh at me. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. I have to be truthful here. I have to be truthful. Okay, but my name is Emmanuel, Jacinta said, and it might surprise you I don't think it should surprise you though, but the way things happen in reality while I was trying to get my system set up for this particular session, right? Just at the moment I was about to present, my system decided to go off on me. I don't think that's a good way to start my presentation, but I mean, that is the reality of it. This is a live session anyways, but I'm pleased to be here. Also, my presentation is now ready. I thought I should just mention that aspect, okay? Don't worry. There's nothing to fear. So my name is Emmanuel. So I'll be sharing my screen in a jiffy. Just trying to get my system back up so that we can have a good time together. But while how do I get started?
Hi,
Sorry,
Emmanuel.
I
We
got.
have you back.
Yes, I got knocked out. My system trying to join actually knocked me out of my mobile device, but I'm back here. Please confirm you can hear
Oh,
me.
sorry about that. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. All right, fantastic. So it's interesting how this has decided to start out today, but non issues. We are made for this, right? We are made for this. So I'll be presenting my screen as I said, and I'll be talking to you today about data analytics. Happen to I happen to find myself in a position where I think I can share something that is tangible that could actually help quite a number of persons. In my short time here on earth, I've realized that, or my short time working as well, I also realized that people have tend to have quite a number of questions as regards to different things, honestly. But more importantly, recently, I've also noticed that there have been many questions around this concept, around this topic, around data analytics, right? And I'm pleased to have the opportunity to share that with you today. Okay, so please confirm when you can see my screen. Just confirm when you can see my screen. Cynthia, maybe you can help me confirm on behalf of everyone.
Okay, sure.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet.
All
Okay.
right, I'll just wait for
Now.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
it's
can
up
see
now.
now.
All right, fantastic, fantastic. All right, great. So that was a beautiful slide I wanted to show you at the beginning that decided to go up before I was ready. Okay, so introduction to data analytics, right? Um, but before I go into data analytics, let me talk a bit about myself and what I've done so far and why I think this is a good opportunity to share that. Um, for the last 10 plus years, I have been in the space of data analytics. Actually, my own journey started out by stumbling upon data analytics. Some people have some visions, some dreams before they got started, but mine was more of a stumble upon when I was done with school and so on and so forth. Got into the work environment and started uh, playing with data as early as possible. Yes, I was used to using a system, but this time around, there was a new thing happening at that time, which was data. Data was becoming a thing, right? It wasn't even known as data analytics as it is nowadays. Then it used to be known with different names, business intelligence. That is also part of data analytics, though. But business intelligence was one of it. There are something you call analysts, right, and so on and so forth. So different definitions of that have come up over the years. I started out my career as an analyst, right? And since then to now, I've been doing data analytics practically every day, every year of my life. Okay, and I think from my introduction slide here, actually, I love music, I love football, and um, I love music, I love football, and I love teaching. But that's just like the few things I can put on the homepage of the things I love. All right, there are other things I would love to share. But I'm also uniquely in the position where I'm also the co-founder of Camanda Academy, right? As Jacinta has said earlier. And what we do at Camanda Academy, I think I will allow Jacinta, and I think Jacinta has already alluded to that earlier. We have the opportunity to, we use, we create, we have a platform where we bring together professionals and people who need to learn in-demand skills, whether it is a digital skill, a business skill, a tech skill, right? You can find a professional who can teach you that, basically helping you to get new skills as quickly as possible in a short space of time. All right. But that's on the side. That's not why I'm here today. I'm here to talk about data analytics. Um, but before I even go into data analytics, I decided to write a few things about myself that I think might be interesting to share. One of it is the fact that I love food. All right. Um, I every time I go into a new place, one of the things I want to try out is what is what is the delicacy or what is a meal I can try out in that new environment. Though I don't consider myself to be a foodie, right? But I think I would say I love food, and I also like taking pictures of food. All right. Beyond taking pictures of food, I love taking pictures of moments and landscape photographies and the rest. Okay, it's kind of a thing for me. I believe in capturing moments. Um, Individual moments in life come and go, but the one way to keep that moment forever is by putting it in a picture or in videos. And one of the things I do great is being behind the camera and capturing moments. Okay, well, I'm not a photographer. It's just one of the things I do, but I'm not a photographer. Okay, I'm not talking down on photography. I'm just saying I'm not a that's not my full time job. Maybe when I'm done with this whole work, I can then go and become a photographer. I don't know. Maybe it's there. Another thing I do is I would say I love to write. Um, though maybe love to write is not the right way I'll put it. I know that I write, but I've found friends have told me over time that it seems like I have this whole gift of writing. So I'm beginning to accept the fact that I love to write. And yeah, that's one thing about myself I think I should share. I know Jessica asked us to introduce ourselves earlier. That is me introducing myself. Occasionally I write, and sometimes I also write poems. Maybe in another life I could be a poet. I don't know. But that's a different topic for another day. All right. Now, why am I discussing data analytics with you today? I thought I should just share a bit of my background as well as regards to things I've done over the years. I talked about where I started out from. I have experience in different industries. The reason I'm taking my time to lay this foundation is for one reason. When I start talking about some of these things today in data analytics, I need you to understand where I'm coming from. Okay, it's not just from a place of you read something in the book and you're coming to share it with us. No, this is coming from a place of I have seen this and I have done this. All right. So I would love for you to see it from that angle instead. Okay. And some of the things I've done over the years, I've been starting out as an analyst, being a consultant at some point, being a solutions architect, an engineer as well, and also leading some very interesting team members across the years. So these are things I have done with my time. And I believe I'm in a unique position to be able to share some of the things. I'm still learning, I'm still developing, right? But I think I'm in a unique position to be able to share a few things with you today around data analytics. So without further ado, let me go into um, data analytics for that's the tools and the concepts. All right. Before now, we had a session exactly about 7 months ago. That was January 27th to be precise. Interestingly, this is another 27th. Maybe I'll have to speak to my organizer. It seems like there's something about 27th for us. But the last session we had was in January 27th. This is another 27th that we are having another session. So we thought it is important to bring this back to you. And some of the things we had done before, we talked about introduction to data analytics. One was around what is data analytics? Who can practice data analytics, right? What are the real world examples of data analytics? If you want to rewatch that, I encourage you to visit www.camanda.academy and you'll find that there. Or you can drop your email in the chat box and we'll invite you to watch that particular session. Okay. So whichever one you feel comfortable, drop your email or visit Camanda.academy to find this session. It will be made available for you there for you to watch it. Okay. Thank you very much. So I just thought I should touch on that quickly. In that session, we spoke about what analytics is about, who can practice analytics, what are the basic things you need to understand about data analytics. We try to break down the concept of data analytics to the simplest possible format in a non-technical way, in a non-biased way, as simple as possible what data analytics is about. Okay. And I'll touch on one of those things today, which is on the concept of data analytics. What is data analytics? All right. Data analytics is basically a process. All right. I love to see this as that many things are involved in data analytics, but it's a process. Okay, and there are different people, different parties that are involved in it. Starting out, I never thought I would be here where I am today, but I have noticed over the years that data analytics is a process. All right. Yes, I know we do all of those things to we do many things in behind the scenes, but the goal of data analytics is about drawing insight. So there are many things that happen in data analytics. There is gathering of data, there is making sense of the data, there is cleaning of the data, there is transforming of the data, there is modeling of data. These are plenty jargons that you may hear, all right? But throughout the data analytics process, the main goal in the end is, right, being able to draw insight, to draw conclusions. All right. The data analytics process is for you to get insight or draw conclusions to support whether it's your business decisions or to support even if it's your daily life decisions. All right. And whether you want to pursue data analytics as a full-time career, becoming a data analyst, becoming a data scientist, becoming a data engineer, whichever one it is you want to find yourself in, or whether you don't, that is not what your own calling is. You just have some, you are just someone that uses data today. You can actually use data analytics. You do not have to be, this is something that we shared the last time. You do not have to be a data analyst to use data analytics. All right. So that's one of the things we shared at that time. I would love you to go and watch that session. It's just about 1 hour thereabout long. You just go and watch it as well and learn the things we discussed in that particular session. But you do not have to become an analyst to know or use data analytics. I just thought I should touch on that quickly before proceeding. Okay. So whether you are a, what's the word? Whether you are someone who is in customer service today, or you are in marketing, or you are just leaving school, or what's the word? Whatever space you find yourself today, whether you're running your own business, right? You're running your own business in your own coffers. It can be a business on the street somewhere. It can be an enterprise business somewhere. You don't have to carry the title of being a data analyst before you can say you are using data analytics. Because don't forget, what is the goal of data analytics again? The goal is to generate insight, to get to insight. Okay? If there's something you should take first from today's session, it is that. So relax your mind whenever you hear people throwing plenty things around. The truth is, there are so many buzzwords out there. There are so many things that could scare people away when it comes to data analytics. But I've gone through the different corners of this to understand that no, we can actually tone it down a little. You do not have to. I mean, many of us use our mobile devices today. You are not an engineer. You don't have to be an engineer to use a mobile device today. Data analytics can also fit in that particular definition. You do not have to become a professional data analyst like Emmanuel or many other persons out there to use data analytics. Okay? If you are still with me, I would love for you to maybe give your thumbs up or something. Just maybe make a comment in the chat box. But I just want to be sure that you are still with me. Okay? I want to show you are still with me. Thank you. I can see the thumbs up coming in. Thank you very much. So you do not have to be a data analyst to know or use data analytics. But today, one of the things we'll be touching on today is what are some concepts you should be aware of when it comes to data analytics? All right. What are some tools you should be aware of when it comes to data analytics? All right. That's what I will take a few minutes today to share with you. All right. And then hopefully we can build on that and have another session to discuss more things. But let's see how much we can cover in today's session. My time is limited according to my organizer behind the scenes. Okay. Again, as I said, you go visit camanda.academy to learn more about our first session. You can find more about us there. So the tools and concepts, some tools, let me not say all tools, because if I was going to talk about all the concepts that is allowed, that is used in data analytics, there is a lot. To be honest, there is a lot. And sure, there are plenty of jargons still coming up till tomorrow. But no, I'm here to guide you. I'm here to help you break that down. You do not have to be afraid of data analytics as a concept. Okay? So what are some of the things you should be aware of in the space of data analytics in the short space of time I have for today? Number one concept I would love to share with you today is about data collection and storage. It's very simple. It's straight to the point, but what does it mean? In the process of data analytics, please refer to the initial session that we had on the concept on the data analytics process. We discussed that in that particular session. Okay. But in the concept of data collection and storage, data doesn't just come from heaven to earth. All right. Data is collated, is collected and collated. Are you with me? Data is collected and collated. That is usually the very first process in the whole data analytics thing. Remember I said data analytics really is a process. Of course, there's the aspect of analysis, there's the aspect of drawing insight, there's the aspect of visualization. These are fantastic things, okay? But data analytics, the very first step is usually around data storage and collection. So before you can store data, you need to have collected the data. For instance, I can say by show of hands, how many persons here are male? Please indicate by raising your hand. You see the raise hand button on Google Meet. By show of hands, I can see 2 hands raised. If there are more males on the call, please use the raise hand button. Okay, there are now 7 hands raised, about 8 hands raised at the moment. Now, this purely is data being collected. By show of hands, who is a male? All right. Now I can take my pen and paper today and start writing down. Oh, Mr. A is a male. Mr. B is another male. Mr. C is another male. What am I doing at that point in time? I am collecting the data. You can drop your hands, please. Thank you very much. The very first step in the data analytics process is the data collection. Of course, there's the hypothesis and the rest. We know all of those, but the data collection, without data collected, then there's really no data analysis. And the good thing about the world we live in today is that every minute, every second that we breathe, there is a lot of data being collected and collated. I'll come to the collated aspect later, but it's a lot of data being collected. While we are on this call, there is data being collected by the makers of these tools that we are using. While you are making a phone call, there is data being collected. What is the sample of data being collected while you are making a call? Who are you calling? What time did you call the person? How many minutes did you spend on the call? All of these are data being collected. Before now, we never used to think about it as data. I mean, when I started seeing this data from this point of view, it made sense. It made more sense to me. All right? The things that we do, the things that we practicalize every day generates quite a large amount of data. In short, the world that we live in today, I think we generate petabytes of data practically every day. It's not gigabytes, it's not terabytes. We're talking about petabytes of data. You're scrolling through Instagram, you're generating some data. Why do you think as a lady, when you are scrolling through Instagram, you see ads? Sometimes you don't even know that they're ads, advertisements, but you see ads about some nice shoes and bags. Because based on your interest, based on things that you have done over time, based on data that has been collected about your usage of the internet, you seem to be interested in bags. Are we together? That's data being collected. Sometimes you give out your data without knowing. All right, I'm not here to scare you, and it's not an Armageddon situation. But sometimes we give out our data without even knowing. You are trying to use a new application. The application says, "Oh, allow me to read all your contacts," and you say yes, yes, yes. For instance, pardon me, let me deviate a little. People who download some loan applications and they ask you, "Please permit me," or some application, not necessarily loan application, some applications, and they say, "Allow me to read your contact." And you just say, yes, allow, permission granted. What have you just done right there? You have just shared all your contacts to whoever it is that owns that particular application. It is why it's not surprising when, if a particular person defaults, it's easy for whoever it is to start contacting you to say, "Hey, your friend owes me money." That is data that was collected. So data can be collected both for very interesting reasons and for reasons that are not so great. Data can be collected in a business point of view from customer feedback. From your social media that you are scrolling through, you are dropping some data around. The form you fill on the internet, you're dropping data. You visit a particular location physically and you sign that document, you're leaving some data. There's a CCTV in the compound where you went into. That is data right there. I hope this concept is making sense to you. Pardon me, as I said, I love to teach. I'm just trying to make sure I can break this concept down as much as possible. So you're on the same page with me. But I hope this concept makes sense to you. Right? So data is being collected in different ways, in different formats, at different times. So I'm not here to sound warning or be careful when you do this one, be careful when you do. No. I'm here to educate you about what's data. What's one of the concepts about data, which is data collection. And once data is collected, one of the next things that happens in the day and age we live in today is to store that data. We store it. Your data is sitting somewhere today in maybe if you're an employee in an organization and there's an employee record for you. That data is being stored somewhere. You need to know these things. So as part of the concept that drives data analytics, one of it is data collection and storage. And there's some tools we use in data collection today. There's some tools we use in data storage today. Don't worry, I'm not here to bug you or scare you with them. I mean, when I was going through my draft, I'm like, man, there's so many tools to really share. But I'll do my best to guide you as much as possible. Okay? There's so many tools. I mean, a simple Google form, a simple Microsoft form can be used in collecting data. You visit Camanda.academy today and you go to register. That place where you are registering, some data is being collected. All right? Once that data is collected, it is stored somewhere. And there are some tools we use in storing that data today. I mean, spreadsheet applications like Google Sheets, Excel, Zoho Sheets, spreadsheet applications, there are so many of them. All right? Smart Sheet is another one. These are tools that can be used in gathering your data today and storing it. There are even more advanced ways of storing data today. There are SQL databases. Okay? There are databases. I mean, pardon me, I just use SQL databases like as if you know what I mean by SQL databases. But there are databases. One of the concepts I will try to, I don't know if time is going to permit me today, but whether we discuss it today or in our next session, one of the concepts I'll try to introduce you to is databases, the concept of databases. What do they do? How do they function? They are structured databases. We call them non-structured databases, but they have a semi-structure, NoSQL databases and SQL databases. Beyond databases, there's another concept called data warehouses. Trust me, these are different concepts in data analytics today, which can be very, very scary from the word go. But you don't have to bother yourself so much about it, even using Excel today. Even using your Google Sheet today, right? Even using Excel today, even using your Google Sheet today, you can gather data. All right? If you have access to Google Forms today, you can gather data and store it. So we can as well say that you are a data analyst. But no, we don't have to give you the title yet. You just have to know that you can start using data analytics. You don't have to wait to gain a particular certification before you can start using data analytics. Okay? That's concept number one. I hope that's clear enough. If there are questions around this, please feel free to use the chat box. Drop your questions in the chat box. I'll be more than happy to address them later. All right. But if you are happy what I've said so far is clear, please use your reaction buttons on your application. Let me be sure that you are still with me. All right. I can see a few persons. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now let me go to concept number two. Concept number two I'll be sharing with you today is a concept called structure and unstructured data. Now, you'll be wondering, just now, you just told us that data is this. Now you're going into structure and unstructured. Yes, don't worry, I will explain. One of the reasons why you are here today is that I can break down this concept for you so you don't feel, what are all these things that people are talking about yet?
What are these people are talking about? Okay, structured data. Structured data. Okay, let me hint here. Structured data doesn't mean clean data. I'll come back to the concept of clean data later. But structured data doesn't mean clean data. Okay, structured data in this case is a concept around how your data is being collated. Remember I was talking about collection earlier? How your data is being collated. Are you using a structured application or a structured tool like a spreadsheet application or a database to collate that data? If yes, you will notice that those tools force you into putting your data in a certain way, in a certain method. For instance, if you go to Excel today or Google Sheets, you will see column A, column B, column C. You will see row 1, row 2, row 3. What are they trying to tell you there? You must type in a cell. You must type in each of those things. That is a concept of structured data. Being able to structure your data in a way whereby that data can be easily searched through. All right? That's what we mean by structured data. Usually structured data are stored in applications like your spreadsheet applications or your databases. There's another concept under your structured or unstructured, which is called an unstructured data set. Well, when I started out, I never really used to consider this as data, but if that is your own case today, you're welcome. We are here to educate and inform you about some these things. Unstructured data. For instance, your social media post is an unstructured data. You might be wondering, what do you mean by that? The truth is that right there, that your post, that thing you just sent right there is actually data. It says something, it means something. If properly analyzed, it can tell a particular pattern about you. We can generate some insights. Why do you think in some communities, in some, I think I'll call them worlds today, there's some climates today, based off your social media activity, one can tell this is who this person is, or these are the tendencies of this person. Or this concept we call dragging, right? We are dragging somebody today, right? It's based off some unstructured data that this person has posted on the internet before now, and not dragging the person, all right? Based on things that they have said before or things they've done in the past. But right there is data about you, about things that you believe in, and so on and so forth. I hope I'm making sense. Your email that you're sending is also a form of unstructured data. Why is it called unstructured data? It's because it lacks a predefined format. The way I choose to send my own tweet, and the way you choose to send out your own message don't have to be the same. You can choose to send out your own tweet with an image today. I will send out my own tweet today with a text and emojis in it. There's no standard format or predefined format that you must send it out in. So the data that is being collected there, when it is being collected generally, you'll be like, oh, this person sent it out as that. I'm still audible. Hope I'm still audible, Jacinta.
Yes, you
Yeah,
are. We
yeah,
Yes.
slowly.
can hear you.
All right, fantastic. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of interruption here. I'm trying to sort that out. Okay. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you. So I was talking about unstructured data. Right? Format for the data is usually not defined. All right? It doesn't mean it doesn't carry information. It does, but it's usually not defined. That's where the concept of unstructured data comes into play. Okay? All of these, though, whenever they are gathered, they are stored. Okay? regardless of how the data is coming in, whenever they are gathered, one of the things we do immediately is that they are stored. For instance, when you collect images from people, right? Where do you store them? You store them on maybe a hard drive on your system somewhere. But in the case of unstructured data for analysis purposes, it's possible that you're storing them in cloud storage somewhere. Remember when if I go back to my first slide on the last part here where we talked about cloud storage being one of the places where you can store data. Yes, a cloud storage is a space where you can store data. In this case, your email files and the rest, or your text files can be stored as in cloud storages. Usually your unstructured data are stored in cloud storages, usually. Because again, they are not carrying a particular format. You just have to maintain them the way they came in for analysis later. Okay? I would love to pause quickly at this juncture. I'll be speaking for, I don't know, maybe about 10, 15 minutes, or I don't know if it's up to 20 minutes yet. If there are any questions at this juncture, please kindly raise up your hand and let me hear you out. And let's take your question before I proceed into the other concept, please. Any questions at this juncture? Jacinta? Any questions? Okay, Balogun Oluwadayomi, I see your hand up. Kindly go ahead with your question. If you're speaking, your mic is mute. Please proceed with your question.
Sorry, I wanted to ask if stack, queue, and linear data type have anything to do with data analysis.
Say that again.
I wanted to ask if stack, queue, and linear data type have anything to do with data analysis.
Stack, queue, and what?
Linear data type, tree, all those.
I'm not sure I've gotten your question yet.
Let me type it.
Okay, but you are saying something around linear data type, right? A linear data type is a kind of data structure for your data. Yeah, so it actually has something to do with data analytics as well, right? Though it may have its own base in software engineering, all right? It may have its own base in software engineering, but the concept, stack, trees, queues, thank you very much. Okay. So maybe not directly into data analytics, right? But they have their space. For instance, a software engineer, right, who is going to deploy an application and track that particular data, needs to store that data in a particular database, right? He needs to understand the structure of data for him to do so. He doesn't have to become a data analyst to do so, but he needs to understand how data must be structured in order to store that particular data into a database. Does that make sense? So yes, maybe not directly related, as you said, right? But it's let me not confuse the house. It has something to do with data. That's data analytics, the concept of data, right? But maybe as a data analyst, one of the things you might be considering might not be some of these. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, Balogun?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, good. Any other question? Any other question? All right, I'll take it to be that we are good. So let me proceed with my presentation. I mean, my time is fast spent. I would love to speed this up, but let me continue with my presentation. I have a thought concept for you today, and that concept is called a concept of data types. Even in my head, when I was thinking about this, I'm like, oh well, what is data types? I'm just picturing in my head somebody's asking, which one is data type again? I mean, after all this thing you said about data, there's something called data type. Yes, there's something called data type. All right. Talking about the structure of data, there's also something called data type. Usually when data is being collected, right, there are ways, when we talked about structured data earlier, right? When the structured data needs to be collated, there are ways that particular data is being thought about as an analyst. I'm speaking now from the point of an analyst. If I collect a number from you, not your phone number, let me say I collect what is your age, and I write that age as a number into my database or into my spreadsheet application. I'm writing that as a number because I probably will use that tomorrow for analytics purposes. Maybe I want to calculate the average age of people in my class. The reason I would have collected the age could be for different other reasons. Or maybe I'm working on medicine that has to do with people of a certain kind of age. Right? But if I collected that data and I wrote it as age 75 as a text, it becomes very difficult to then analyze that data later. I don't know if that makes any sense. The concept of data types is this. The reason why data is being collected with types is, let me put it this way. The kind of data that you bring out every day, the kind of data that we emit in a structured way can be classified into types. For instance, male, female, colors, red, blue, green, royal pink, all of those other beautiful color combinations, right? These are colors, right? This kind of data, we call them categorical data, right? The engineers may see something like enum or enumerated data, which means there only is a few options in that kind of data set. But why do we have to collect number as number? Why do we have to collect text as text? It's so that when we go into analyzing this particular data, further down the line in the process of data analytics, we are working with a structure that makes sense for analytics. The reason why you don't write your revenue in your books as 700,000 in text is so that when you write 700,000 as my money made this month, and the next month you go ahead and say 700,000 again, you can add 700,000 with 700,000 to say, oh, I have made 1.4 million naira or $1.4 million, whichever your currency is. Data must be collected in such kind of format or type so that we can use it for analytics later. If you did not know about this before, you just see data to be all of that thing that people say in front of them. The truth is that data actually has a structure and actually has a type. One of the things we do after this right now is to identify some different data sets and talk about the structure, talk about the type of data it is. Okay? For instance, somebody writing their name into a form, that is a text kind of data. Purely text. Purely text. It's called text. In some places, it's called strings, depending on the domain you find yourself. Okay? It's called text, it's called string, depending on the domain you find yourself. Okay? In this case, I'm using numbers to simplify the data type. There are different types of numbers, actually. By the time we go into the engineering aspect of data, right? The types of numbers are also different. But I'm trying to tell you that the things about data analytics doesn't have to be extra complicated. You don't have to tripletic jargons for you to understand data analytics. As I said before, you do not have to be an analyst to know or use data analytics. This right here is me explaining to you the process of data analytics. You gather the data, you make sense of the data. You gather the data, you clean the data, you analyze the data. But one of the concepts that is required in the whole space of data analytics today is what? The concept of data types. Numbers, text, or strings as they are called sometimes. All right? Boolean. Boolean is one that says true or false. Boolean, I wouldn't say Boolean was a data concept. Boolean, I think, is more of a computer concept. The digital age brought us, right? Did I say that correctly? Maybe not. I do not know. But the digital age brought us the concept of Boolean, which is zeros and ones, this or that. Computer, they say things in Boolean, in 0 and 1. It is either 0 or is 1. It's either 0 or is 1. So the concept of Boolean is from there. True or false, true or false. That is Boolean. So when you feel selecting that you are a male or female doesn't mean true or false. So those are two different things. That is more of a categorical data. Okay? Are you male, true or false? That is Boolean. But when you say gender and you select male or female, that is no longer Boolean. Okay? My data enthusiasts in the house, hope you are getting the difference. Okay? Boolean is, are you this? And you say yes or no. But the categorical data will now say, are you male, female, others, and you select male, and you select female. So when you're creating your own Google form today, or you're creating your own, by the way, in the Camanda Academy, so let me deviate a little. If you want to learn how to gather data, you want to learn how to create forms to gather your data in a way that it makes sense, please visit camanda.academy/register. The link will be dropped in the chat box, and we'll take you through this particular process. There are courses and there are programs we have that takes care of this. Okay? Camanda.academy/register is where you should go and register. We will teach you how to gather your data. If there are topics that you want to learn around data, based on what I've said so far, go into the chat box here and type it as well. We'll take it up and we'll create a course for you on that. Or we can teach you that. Maybe we can discuss that in our next masterclass. Okay? So male, female is a categorical kind of data. Yes or no is Boolean. Okay? 3.1 is a number. 42 is another number. 1 million is a number. Your phone number is not a number. Sorry, I'm going to confuse you a little bit. Yes, your phone number is not a number in the data world. Okay? Your phone number is not a number in the data world. But I will explain. Don't worry. I'm not here to confuse you. I will explain. I intentionally brought that up. I'm glad with that emoji. Thinking about it. I'll explain. Don't worry. Yes, your phone number is made up of numbers, digits, right? But it's not always only going to be digits. Yes, when I'm telling you my number is 070, that is my number. But the concept of phone numbers is actually made up of the country code, which is sometimes starts with with the plus sign. Plus is not a number. If your phone number has an extension, which is a concept of phone numbers, though the phone number that you tell me doesn't usually have extensions, your phone number, your WhatsApp phone number probably doesn't have extensions. Yes, but the concept of phone numbers from the word go, yes, it is made up of digits, but it also has special characters in between it. Okay? When you say your phone number is this hyphen, this is my extension, that hyphen there already tells you that this can't just be a number alone. Okay? Let me take you back to primary school, or is it primary school or secondary school math? Is it math? I'm trying to remember where. You don't start numbers with 0. You don't start writing something with 0. You usually ignore the 0 because, okay, when you want to write a number, you want to write 151. You don't write 0151. Okay? Thank you very much. Thanks to my organizers. I already reminded me of my time. I'm sorry. I love to teach, but sometimes I don't. I love to teach, and I would love to continue to do this. Please, if you've not, what's it called? If you've not signed up to participate in our webinars, please do well to register at camanda.academy/masterclass. I would love to share this session, share with you more often. Okay? Camanda.academy/masterclass. We will continue to invite you to our next sessions. My time is almost done here, but I'll be more than happy to invite you to the next session and continue this particular concept. Okay? I'll continue talking about these things. All right? But let me finish talking about the phone numbers. Oh, some people have their hands raised. We'll come back to you shortly. The concept of phone numbers, when you have extension, once you have a slash in a number, it is no longer a number. Okay? Yes, decimal is allowed in numbers. Decimals are allowed in numbers, but not hyphen and the rest. Okay? So I hope that is clear enough. I hope I've been able to explain to you why a phone number isn't actually stored as numbers. It's not like it's not made up of numbers. It is made up of numbers, but it is not usually stored as numbers. Okay? Don't worry, that is for the engineers to worry their head about. Okay? You gather your own data and store it and use it for your own analytics purposes. Date is another type of data. Date is another type of data. Sometimes it comes with date and time. Sometimes it comes with just the date alone. It comes with date with sometimes there are different types of date. There is the American date format. There is the UK or the Nigerian date format. There is the computer date format and so on. But date is a date. Okay? So with this that I have shared with you so far, I'd like us to do something quickly as part of maybe I can even stop at this particular juncture, right? I've shared some concept with you. I've explained some things to you around data, some concept of data, around data analytics. Now, can someone, or can we do it? Let's do it together. Okay? Someone tell me, what is one raw data that you can think about? Either you see it in your organization today, or you see it in the walk of life that you find yourself today, or you saw it in school, right? Or that you can just think of right now, oh, from this concept that Emmanuel just explained to me, this right now is a type of data that I will consider going forward. This is the data that I will identify going forward. And how is that data being collected today? Can we use the chat box? Type that in the chat box. If you want to also voice it out, raise your hand, we'll call on you, and you can do so too. Can we identify some raw data sets or raw data points that we see around us? Clocking in and clocking out. Fantastic, fantastic. I love that. Clocking in and clocking out. That right there is data. That right there is data. EPO table. What is EPO table? EPO in Nigeria is fuel. I'm sorry. I'm sure that means something in your world. Please, can you explain to us what EPO table is? But yeah, clocking in and clocking out. That's right there. That's once you just put your thumbprint there, it has picked you. This is this person at this particular point in time. Clocking in. Date of salary pay. I love this person. This person is very straight on the point. Date of salary payment. All right. In your data set, that right there could be the date. What day did I receive my salary? Okay. Business people, what is another data point that you can think about? I would love to see more. I can't see let me see if I can find my Google Meet and see what people are sharing. Where's my Google Meet, please? Okay, I've seen my Google Meet. Income inflow, fantastic. Let me read through this. Okay, maybe date of salary payment, I won't consider that to be data, like the data object itself, but that is a type of data. That's a type of data in a structured data, right? Date of my salary payment. Okay, that will be a type of data for us. Okay. EPL. Oh, okay, I see EPL table. Fantastic. You go through, the football is almost here, which is August, right? We go through the different seasons. A team plays a match, the fans attend. Right there, they say, 80,000 fans attended this. There are 4 goals scored, 2 for this team, 2 for the other team. Okay, that right there is data being collated. At the end of a season, you say, this person gathered 91 points. This person gathered 41 points. That right there is data. EPL table. Pupils daily attendance. Fantastic. Now, if you haven't started gathering any of this data, like this person I talk about pupils daily attendance. If you haven't started gathering this sort of data, if you want to learn how to do this, please visit camanda.academy/register to learn how to do things like this. Please, the link is in the chat box. All right. We have a class coming up, which we would like for you. It's always an ongoing session. We have a class coming up, which we would like for you to sign up for and participate in. Okay. How do you create things like this? How do you start capturing data sets like this? Income inflow. Yes. Whether if you're in finance, one of the things you'll be looking out for, please, my organizers, please pardon me. I'm going to use a few minutes to round up. Okay. So I can hand it back to Jacinta. Income inflow. As a salary earner, how am I receiving my bank alert? Thank you. Let me even use that word. Your bank alert, that list of bank, that SMS that is coming to you is data. It can be analyzed. Your bank statement is data. It can be analyzed. Can sales reports be a type of raw data? No, your sales reports at this point, you call it a report. Okay? Bonaventure, I can see your message here. Can sales reports be a type of raw data? No. You already call it a report. Remember, as I said at the beginning, The analytics process is for us to get to the point of insight, which means at the point of you having a report, you already have gone through the process of gathering the raw data for sales, analyzing that data set, and generating a report. Report in this case is finished goods. You can, of course, use that report now to now make new decisions. Does that make sense? Hey, number of designs in a month. I love that. Yes, that is data you can start gathering actually. All right. Location of customers. That is data right there. I'm glad that my phone call log, fantastic. That's right there. These are different data points that we can see. Now, for everybody that has responded, can I then see how then do you collect? Because remember we talked about data gathering, right? That's the data source, and data collection. How do you collect this data today based off what you know? How do you collect this data today? Or how can this data be collected today? Even if it's not what you're collecting yet, how can this data be collected today? For instance, the person that talked about EPL table, how do you think that data is being collected today? That's Muiwa. How is pupils attendance collected today? Can we chat? Let's talk about that in the chat box quickly. Battery life of my power bank. I love that. That is beautiful. That right there is actual data that is very, very interesting to see. The battery life of my power bank. How is my power bank draining its battery from 100% to 20% before I charge it back again? If you collect that data, that's right there is data that is being generated. True. True. Very percent, 100% valid. Now, if you said battery life of my power bank, how would you collect the battery life? How would you collect that data today? How would you collect that data today? Let me just see if we've been able to work out a little bit. Okay, I create an invoice for every customer I design for. So number of invoices are okay, good. I'm able to see how many designs I have done. That is beautiful. I mean, that is straight on point from Jacinta right there. Creating invoices for every customer that you work for, right? And then generating those invoices. The number of invoices can tell how many designs you do in a particular period. Fantastic. I do not have to be an analyst to do that one for you. You can do that yourself. Yes, you can pay me the big bucks to come and tell you, oh, this is beautiful. You made XYZ amounts in a month and so on and so forth. But you can actually start collecting this data yourself. You don't have to be called an analyst by title, by profession to be able to do this. Income flow. Good. Through my bank statement. I love that. One good way of seeing your income flow today is through your bank statement. I put it to you today. I do this in every class, every data analytics class I participate in. I try to tell people to go and analyze their bank statements. If you join my classes, right? If you join my own classes personally, one of the things I try to tell people from the word go is, after we've talked about how to even start analyzing data, one of the first things I would like for you to, don't show me the results. You analyze the results for your own self. So today, go and look at your bank statement. Open your mobile app, download the data from there if possible. That right there is data. You actually have data. Okay? My daily phone usage. I love that. I don't know how you track that one. I think your phone does that for you today, but I don't know if you're currently collecting that anywhere. My daily phone usage. Good. EPL table. We can buy sports paper. Oh, beautiful. You can buy sports paper for that today, or you can visit the sports website to view EPL table. That right there is raw data. Distance covered or calories burnt on daily basis. If you start gathering that data, for instance, in Excel sheet today, what you have just done is you've gone from raw data to data collection, to data collection, to data collection. Oh, day one, how many calories? Day two, how many calories? Day three, how many calories? Okay? Class by class, male, female, gender. I mean, this person is already going to the aspect of even analyzing the data. All right? I love that. I recorded how many hours it lasts after being charged. Wow. If you must really be a data analyst, or me, ensure that I have to call you out on this one. If you record how long your power bank lasts, right, from when you charge it to 100%, how many times it can charge my phone before it dies, that right there is good data. In short, I would love to even see that particular data and analyze it together with you. Maybe we can see some pattern. All right? But then, people, All right. So I don't bore you further. Again, I know we are past our time by a few minutes. And my organizers have told me that I need to start rounding up. But right there, data is something that you are already familiar with, but sometimes you're just not conscious of it. You're just not conscious of it. Okay. So our analytics class, which is coming up this August. Please feel free to go to camanda.academy/register to sign up for that class. And let's discuss data analytics, how to go through the different steps of data analytics from start to finish. In a 6 weeks period, you will be taught on how to gather data, how to make sense of that data, how to visualize the data. But our masterclass is not ending. Me sharing this knowledge with you is not ending. This is just consider it a tip of the iceberg. Okay, we're going to have another session like this. Okay, I would love to hand over to my organizers at this point. Before they use broom and pursue me, I'd love to hand over to my organizers at this point. Right, it's been a pleasure sharing this knowledge with you. I would love to do this again. If you found this interesting, please do well to join us in our next session, and I'll be more than happy to continue sharing this knowledge with you. It's been a pleasure. I'll sign out at this point. Back to you, Jacinta.
Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. I mean, please, I think I need to see more of the reactions coming from everyone. If it has been an amazing session for you as much as it has for me, kindly use you could leave a comment, you can use the reaction button and just show your gratitude of how grateful we are to have this knowledge shared with us from our amazing experts in the room. So I'm also not going to forget to remind all of us that at Camanda Tech Academy, we are offering our learners a broad and balanced program that can provide them with tech skills either for their personal or their professional growth. Like Emmanuel already mentioned, we have an upcoming cohort which is starting on the 3rd of August. It will interest you to know that we have a range or a number of courses actually that you can sign up for. It could be Microsoft Excel for beginners, Power BI data analytics, software development with Power Apps, UI UX design. I mean, you heard me talk about design a lot when I was giving my example for data, right? We also have cyber security for beginners, project management, SEO marketing, you name it. So I've shared the link, and we would also ensure that we share the link with you to your emails after this session. Feel free to sign up, complete your enrollment, and I can't wait to see you all when the cohort starts come August 3rd. It has been an amazing session. Thank you everyone for joining today's webinar. It has been truly engaging. Let's remember that technology landscape is always evolving. So we need to stay curious. We need to keep learning. You need to come back for the next masterclass, and you also need to continue to innovate. We look forward to seeing you all at our future events, and follow us on all social media platforms. Have a great day. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a pleasure sharing this. I will see you all in our next session. Thank you. Thank you.